Coming up on News 15 today, with the tropics heating up and heading to the Gulf, we speak with local businesses on preparedness and potential shortages of things in your hurricane kit. And healthcare officials are turning away patients due to bed shortages during this fourth surge of COVID. How are those officials attempting to accommodate the public? We have details just ahead.
And we're talking about some warm temperatures out there this morning, but will there be any cooling storms later on in the afternoon? Those details coming up.
From Fox 15 and KLAF NBC, News 15 Today starts now.
Good Tuesday morning. You are watching News 15 Today. I'm Alex Worstel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Our top story this morning, a Lafayette assistant district attorney is facing charges for a boating incident on False River. Chris Richard facing multiple charges, including felony hit and run and careless operation of a vessel. Investigators say that Richard was operating a pontoon boat on False River when he hit 3 juveniles on a tube. One of the victims was taken to the hospital with a fractured pelvis. Witnesses saw Richard jump in the water to check on those injured, but got back in his boat and left. Richard was booked into the Point Coupee Parish Jail. Lafayette Parish deputies asking for your help locating a woman indicted in the death of her child. They're looking for Natalie Broussard. Deputies say last September, her toddler was found dead in a car. The cause of death was determined to be a heat stroke. Broussard is charged with second-degree murder in this incident. If you have any information, contact the sheriff's office or Crime Stoppers. A man is behind bars in Jeff Davis Parish in connection to a carjacking. The suspect, Jonas Daniel, was attempting to enter the victim's residence. Jennings Police Department responded to assist and detain a man found in the compliance vehicle. Daniel was arrested and booked for attempted carjacking and has outstanding warrants. Well, switching gears this morning, let's get a check of the weather with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier. Good morning, Adam. What do you have for us?
Yeah, hey there, Alex. We're tracking more heat and humidity in the forecast. In fact, today when you're headed out and about, we're talking about those really warm temperatures. Now, generally for much of the day, we are going to stay in the 80s. However, there's going to be a period here starting around lunchtime, going through the afternoon, where we jump up into the 90s, and that's going to be determined based on whether or not you see any rain. Now, as we start out this morning, you can see I-10 at Ambassador. We're not tracking any rain out there. A very quiet start to the morning and on the roadways as well. Our current temperature in Lafayette is 78 degrees. We're looking at clear skies and a dew point of 75. No wind movement right now, so you can really feel that humidity building on in. And, you know, as we go forward in time, we're also going to be talking about the tropics, because there's a couple of things that we need to keep our eye on. As Fred moves on out to the north and east, we are looking at Grace starting to form up much better organized this morning down in the Caribbean. We'll tell you about that and our new tropical storm, Henri, out in the Atlantic. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Okay, sounds good, Adam. We'll check back. Well, we are entering the peak of hurricane season, and residents should start preparing now if you haven't already. Thomas Shannon, he's a manager of Shannon Hardware in Broussard, wants to remind people that generators are hard to find, and the closer we get to the, again, peak of hurricane season, there are going to be supply shortages.
Generators are always a hard find come hurricane season, and a lot of people wish they had the full home generators. You can't get one of those.
Gotcha. And
well, make sure to look over your hurricane season checklist and stay tuned here and online at KLAF for the latest. Well, the Moncus Park project is under new leadership today. J.P. McFadden took over as executive director. McFadden has been with the project since 2019 as director of operations. He takes over for Elizabeth Brooks, who is moving into a new role with the project. Well, the Scott Fire Department is unveiling their brand new ladder truck as the city continues to grow. Fire Chief Saunier says this new purchase, while expensive, will help with quicker response times, safer ways to access higher roofs, and protect the community. The department will unveil the truck on August 19th at 10 a.m. at the Scott Fire Department. Well, if you're looking for a job, employers will be set up in Abbeville this morning. The Vermilion Parish Job Fair will be held at St. Teresa's Holy Family Center. The Vermilion Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Alliance are hosting this event. It runs from 9 a.m. until noon until noon. And then Aldi is getting ready for the holiday season with a big hiring event. This is exciting. The discount supermarket chain hosting a national hiring week in September. Aldi says it's looking for more than 20,000 workers to fill a variety of positions. Aldi says stores and warehouse positions will now be paid $15 and $19 an hour. As for Aldi stores in Acadiana, there are open positions listed on the Aldi website for one of the Lafayette stores. No word yet on when they will open. Well, the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office hosting a blood drive today to help a local officer. The blood drive with Our Lady of Lourdes will benefit Robert Beef Brickley. The drive started yesterday, but it does continue today starting at 8:30. You can find the Lourdes blood bus set up at the Delta Grant parking lot in Opelousas. That's 120 South Market Street in Opelousas. Well, the DeJormo Foundation needs your help with grocery items for the women that they serve. According to the foundation, they're seeing roughly 100 to 150 women each month. On your screen is a list of items needed. Anything from meat to cleaning supplies and even grocery gift cards can be donated at 1331 Jefferson Street in Lafayette, Monday through Friday. Still to come, New Orleans implemented proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to enter a business yesterday. Will Acadiana follow suit? We'll break it down.
And we're watching some showers on radar down along the coast, but we'll see if there are any scattered storms later on today coming up.
And plus, Adam Olivier will have a look at the tropics coming up later in the show. You'll want to stay with us for that. Also, Al Abear looking for something fun and challenging for your child to do during the school year. Look no further. We're checking in with Al after the break. He's at Wonderland Performing Arts. Welcome back. Time now is 5:10. The Child Care Assistance Program is now open to support essential hospital personnel in Tier 1 or 2 of hospital settings. The Louisiana Department of Education, in partnership with Louisiana Department of Health, stated that these families can access subsidized care for children aged 12 and under at Type 3 licensed child care centers or through registered and certified family child care and in-home providers for 12 months. So if you're interested, simply complete an application and provide a signed letter of employment, and title applications will be accepted through October 31st. Well, new grants are available for coronavirus relief in a program set up by state lawmakers. Charities, faith-based organizations, nonprofits, and small businesses can now apply. The $10 million grant program is being funded by federal pandemic assistance funds. Nonprofits must use the money to offer aid to communities impacted by the virus. Small businesses must use the money for workforce development activities tied to economic damage caused by the pandemic. Well, theater is a great way to help kids overcome shyness, and with school back in session, there's no better way to break the ice and break a leg. News 15 Al Abear, he's at Wonderland's Performing Arts this morning. We're going to send it out to him. Al, good morning. How's it going?
You know, Alex, is going great. You and I have discussed many times that my portrayal of Hamlet in the 5th grade is legendary. So we're here at Wonderland Performing Arts. Allison Brandon is with us, and her daughter Addie, who's an actor and a dancer. Allison, tell us about Wonderland Performing Arts.
Sure. Well, we're here in our new space. It's next to Twins at the corner of Johnston and South College. We're so excited. We're actually building a theater in this space. We have 3 studios up in the front. We just wrapped up our summer camps, and now we're shifting into our after-school program. So on August 30th, we are kicking off our after-school program for the 2021-22 school year. And we have all kinds of classes in, we can teach you how to sing, how to dance, how to act. You can put them all together in a musical theater class. We have a film class, a storytelling class where the kids get to write their own show. We have company where you get to be on a main stage production. So lots and lots of options. And we're just so ready to have the kids back. We will be masking for all of our classes just to keep the kids safe right now during this surge. So it's just a really great place to be. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to be here too. This is going to be great. Allison, you have an open house coming up, right?
I do, actually 2, one tomorrow and one Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. So if you want to come meet the staff and tour our space, which we're going to do a little virtual tour today, I think. But if you want to come out in person, ask us questions, sometimes that's just easier, and meet us. That makes people really feel better once they meet the staff and everybody. So just come visit us, and you don't have to stay the whole time. You can just pop in and out at your leisure between 5 and 7.
Now, I'm going to be here about 4 hours, so you don't expect everybody to stay 4 hours, right?
No, I don't. No, it doesn't take that long.
So this is a really cool space. John and I got a chance to look around. It's going to be really neat. Addie, I just had an idea. You know, you guys can write plays and things like that. What if we did a play called News 15, the musical? What do you think about that?
That would be really cool, huh?
How would we make that, though?
Well, you and I are going to talk about that when we go back to the break. But I'm thinking you could portray the news anchor, and we could sing the news. Think about that. Hey, we're going to go back to you, Alex, in the studio. More News 15 today while we work out the hit News 15, the musical. Think about it, Alex.
Can you imagine? Yes, it is drama and theater every day at News 15, isn't it, Al? All right, thank you for that. We're going to check back
We'd
with
sing,
you
we'd cry.
throughout the morning, and we laugh.
I love
a
it.
lot.
I can already.
All right, coming up next, we are expecting more hot weather today. Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier tracking just how hot it gets. Coming up next, you want to stay with us. It is 5:14 on your Tuesday morning.
Hey, for your 7 o'clock hour, that second tease for the tropics, are you going to take weather 2 again? Okay. Well, she's talking about the first tease. I'm talking about the one that was like in the D block tease, but
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
Welcome back. Time now 5:17. The hot summer temperatures look to be sticking around, but could we see some cooling rain this afternoon? Well, let's ask Adam Olivier. Adam, what do you have for us this morning? Could we see some rain?
well, you know, Alex, we are going to be looking for a few pop-up showers and storms out there, but again, it's going to be all about that heat. It doesn't take a really long time for those temperatures to climb up quickly at this time of the year. 82 degrees by 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're going to be out on the water, of course, remember the sunscreen. Remember to find a way to stay cool. We are seeing some showers down around the coast, too, so be careful around some of those showers and storms. They can kind of kick up the water there a little bit. 12 p.m., we're looking at 90 degrees with a pop-up storm or two, but I think the best rain chance really starts to show up as we get closer to 3 p.m., but also that's when the hottest part of the day is going to be. We see those low to mid 90s returning. Now, our futurecast does show that we'll have a few coastal showers and storms here. Those are going to stay along the coast unless you're over towards Calcasieu, Cameron parishes, maybe far western Jeff Davis Parish by 7 o'clock. We'll be watching those, but overall, we're not expecting a whole lot of rain to get going in the morning time. Now, by 9 o'clock, you can see that we will have a few more of these showers and maybe a rumble of thunder starting to show up, at least in parts of the area. And this futurecast does kind of build in some storms a little bit earlier than what we saw yesterday. More so around 11 to midday, right at the turn of the clock there, we could see a few more of those showers and storms really starting to pop. And then they progress inland along that sea breeze here. Our winds have turned around out of the south today, so that should allow these storms to form up in a more typical summertime pattern. Also, they're going to be a little bit more spotty in nature, so not everyone's going to get in on the rain, but those that do, as you well know, are going to get a little cooler. As we head to the overnight hours, though, we see those temperatures very, very muggy in the mid-70s, only a few passing clouds. Now, we could have a few of those storms lingering early in the evening, but by midnight, all of them are gone. Tomorrow, I think a little bit better rain chance towards the afternoon, so that should limit our temperatures from getting too warm, but still low to mid-90s expected. Let's get you up on the latest on Grace. As we look out in the tropics, Grace this morning is starting to show some signs of getting better organized as it approaches the island of Jamaica here, Kingston being the capital. You can see that we are looking at a much better formed circulation here as of this morning, and it is back up to tropical storm status with winds of 40 miles per hour. We're going to show you the the forecast here going forward, coming up in just a few minutes. But Grace, one of those that we'll have to watch. We are looking at scattered showers and storms here through the end of your week, and then high pressure builds on in for the weekend, which means, Alex, mid to even upper 90s showing up by Sunday and Monday of next week.
Okay, wow. More scorchers on the way. Well, Adam, thank you for that. We're going to continue, of course, to check in with you throughout the morning, but you'll want to stay with us because still to come in our next half, Pfizer is submitting data to the FDA supporting the booster shot, as well as trials underway against COVID and its variants. We have that data for you later in our show. And new studies show that children are most likely to spread COVID in a household. It's a stark difference in the data from a year ago. We have that study and much more still to come on News 15 today.
Storm Track 15's Tracking the Tropics, brought to you by Lafayette Roofing.
Welcome back. Time now 5:23. COVID vaccinations continue to increase across Louisiana and here in Acadiana. New data from the Department of Health shows just over 33% of fully vaccinated people are in Region 4. That rate in Lafayette Parish is now over 37%. St. Landry Parish has 35% of its residents vaccinated. 32% of the population in St. Martin is vaccinated. UL urging students to get vaccinated now before the FDA approves the vaccine. University leaders say that once the FDA approves the COVID-19 vaccine, the system will require that all students get the shots. Masks will continue to be required on campus for all students, staff, and visitors. They'll also be required on campus buses or shuttles. The fall semester starts next week. And UL also opened a walk-in COVID testing and vaccination clinic on campus. It's located in the Burke Hawthorne Hall Auditorium. The clinics will be open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Masks are required, of course, in the clinic. It's open to the university community and the public, so those going to the clinic can park at the EK Long parking lot off of Girard Park Circle. Yesterday was the first day the New Orleans indoor businesses started asking for proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. Patrons are required to show either a vaccine card or a recent COVID PCR test to enter the business. While New Orleans residents are split on the matter, so are those here in Lafayette Parish.
I'd be sad to lose a sale, but I'd be really sad if somebody came in and gave the virus to my coworkers, to myself, to other customers in the store. Again, it's just not responsible.
News 15 reached out to LCG to ask if proof of vaccine is something they would consider here. They were unavailable for comment. Well, if you're in need of getting tested for COVID, the Lafayette Parish Health Unit will hold a drive-through COVID testing at their West Willow location from now until Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can receive the rapid or PCR test. There is no cost. For more information, just call the number on your screen. Well, healthcare workers are having to turn away some patients during this fourth surge due to lack of bed availability. Some people around the community are fearing the worst if they need to seek medical care. Lafayette resident Roxanne Arsenault says wait times are continuing to be longer when visiting hospitals here in Acadiana.
It's scary. It's very scary. Took one of my friends to the ER this weekend. I mean, it was a 3-hour wait. So, I mean, God forbid someone suffering from a heart attack. They're short-staffed. There's no beds. I mean, you can't expect to get adequate care. You really can't.
Well, healthcare workers we spoke with said they're trying to accommodate as many patients as possible. We're going to have more on this story coming up in our next half. Well, it's time to get a check on the tropics this morning with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier. Good morning, Adam. We are still following these three systems of or in the tropics, rather.
Yeah, you know, Alex, one of them made landfall yesterday, Fred. We also have Grace and we have Henri that we are tracking out there, and you can see them here on our satellite. Now, Fred, not going to really be an issue much longer. It's just bringing a lot of heavy rain, some gusty winds up through the southeast, but we're going to continue following Grace here in the Caribbean, and then we have Henri, which formed up into a tropical storm yesterday. So as we take a look at the remains of Fred, you can see that it's just a little swirl up here, tropical depression right now, some tornado issues going on in Georgia, but not a problem for us. So we'll move on to Tropical Storm Grace, where we are watching a much healthier system today. Now, this is not a very strong system right now, but it is working its way westbound towards Jamaica, winds of 40 miles per hour. And the forecast track does show that this is going to continue moving westbound towards the Yucatan and then eventually Mexico. Now, it could approach the Yucatan and the mainland of Mexico there as a hurricane, so we'll keep an eye on that. Henri is showing some signs of getting stronger today, a well-defined circulation out there, but Henri is just going to hang out in the Atlantic, not really do anything, but it's going to gradually strengthen here and maybe could even try and approach hurricane status there as well. So the good news for us, no issues for us here in Acadiana, but we'll keep you updated on all things tropics in the days to come.
Okay, good deal, Adam. Thank you for that update. We'll check back shortly. Well, still to come, those using food stamps in America are getting a big jump in benefits starting in a couple of months. We'll tell you by how much in our next half hour. You want to stay with us.
Storm Track 15's Tracking the Tropics, brought to you by Lafayette Roofing. You're